It's just, you know.
This is SportsRage Level 3 has begun. The Pistol Players, the Hustlers, the people of bust them, and everybody else in between. I guess I should remind everybody, hey, Tommy, I don't know, I guess we could do it just for sentimental sake. You could play music at 12:06 if you want. But I'm actually going to miss it, that part. Like, damn. The last night was our last night on the Mighty 1090. It's true. And they didn't play around, actually. So, as we stated, at midnight last night, so we were on last night, and at midnight last night, they switched to religious radio. What a contrast. You go from sports rage to, like, religion. I guess we could all use it. We talked about it last night. If we're going to get bumped for anybody, at least we got bumped by God and Jesus himself. But all kidding aside, it's too bad. You know, it was cool. Listen, we're on Sirius. Everything's digital now and stuff, but I'm an old school guy, so I do and I don't, to be honest. I do and I don't. Like the AM radio has caused me a lot of grief over the years with some of our affiliates and stuff of like stations I've never heard of and I didn't even know we were on, and I don't make extra money for being on, but they're upset about something I said. You know? Like I used to have we used to be on 185 different AM stations, and If there's one slip of the tongue and somebody drops, an F-bomb, it's a massive problem, right? So there's hindrances to AM radio. But at the same point in time, I like the old school people in their car. And we'd have a lot of people would say, hey, Morency, I was in a car in LA, or I was in, San Francisco. And I heard you in a car. It threw me off, which was cool. But listen, that's what Sirius is for, right? It's global, baby. So Sirius XM channel 159, SportsGrid radio, television, Twitter, million platforms, except for YouTube, which we've got a ton of complaints about. But I don't operate the technology here. Well, maybe that'll be back. But no more Mightier 1090. It's too bad. We enjoyed. And you know what's funny? It's not funny. It's one of those, I should have done it and did it. I guess I still could. But there were a couple of times where we were close to going and doing a live show in San Diego. The station was in, there were a couple of, we were going to do a big thing once, but it never happened. And there was another time. And even a couple of times, last month, I was thinking, man, I really got to get out there, maybe for the San Diego State and Aztec game, and we'll do a show out there. And like I said, we still could, but it's not the same now. It's just, it's not the same. So the Olympics. Let's get back after it. We'll go over all the events that are coming up tonight. It was another crazy day of action in the pool today. Some really, just great swimmers we're witnessing. Some of the greatest swimmers ever, actually, like Michael Phelps himself talking about Leo Marchand. Leo Marchand's like a minus 450 favorite. He's got another race left, too. But this woman's race, let me load up the odds here. So we've been talking a lot about Summer McIntosh coming into the games. We told you about this girl. And we, when I bet Canada over 5.5 gold medals to go over 5.5 gold medals, it was because of Summer McIntosh. Like, Canada is not like the United States, right? Or China or something. Like, we don't have a lot of margin for error. Like, we don't have that many athletes that are like literally favored to win gold. So like the 5.5 was, the books knew what they were doing with this, right? Like, it was not a surprise at all to Olympic insiders when we told you she was going to win, that Krista Deguchi was going to win the judo. So the Canadian girl won the judo. We knew like she was supposed to win the judo, so that was built into the number. She did. Summer McIntosh was kind of expected to win 2 gold medals by the experts. She was favored in the 2 races that she won, and she did, right? So that gets them up to 3. And now that there's 2, the 2 hammer throwers are projected to win gold medal for Canada. Now, will they both win? I don't know. It's putting a lot of pressure on them, right? Are they both actually going to win? But they're supposed to. They're expected to. One of them's a 250 favorite. The other one's a minus 134 favorite. The woman's a minus 134 favorite. The men's hammer throw starts tonight. If you want to get in on this, and our boy Frankenbull out there tuning in right now from Nanaimo, that's where Cattsburg's from, beautiful island outside of Vancouver. And he's 22 years old, as I stated. Because, some people say, we'll bet on the favorite, but you get, okay, there's other contenders. Why are you taking this person? And what's the current form? Me and Merrill were talking about this. And his Cattsburg guy, like I said, he's literally, like, he broke a world record, and he did something that, like, no one had done in, like, 20 years with the toss, as far as the distance is concerned. A couple of Pan Am Games, world champion, world record holder. He's on top of the sport now. And I guess the guy... his main competitor is a dude that used to be the kingpin, but he's a little older now. And, it's the Olympics are a young man's sport. Katzberg is 22. He doesn't look 22. He's a big dude. He's got like a beard and stuff, but he looks like that actor from, what's the guy's name? Forget the guy's name because I don't know the movies, but if I heard Jason something. The guy in the Aquaman or whatever. Jason Momoa, Jason M, something like that. Sort of like a big dude, scruffy hair and a beard and stuff. But, man, this guy can throw a hammer. So that's coming up tonight. We'll get into the basketball. Our boy Julio is going to step up. And I always like talking to Julio about this stuff because he's got the Olympic fever. You know what I mean? Like he likes these international sports. But we've got a lot of stuff. There's big-time stuff. So remember... we're into the knockout stage now in soccer as well. And remember the controversy after Argentina won the Copa America. And for whatever reason, they mocked France after they won the Copa America. Messi wasn't there, for the record. So if you're like, oh, freaking Messi. Like, Messi wasn't on the team bus with them. Messi was Messi. Like, he goes his own way after. He was not with the team. But... When Argentina won the Copa, they got all wasted after, and they all started posting videos of them drinking and saying stupid stuff. And for whatever reason, they started mocking France. And they sang like a song about France. And it was like a racist, homophobic song about like the country of France and the French players and stuff. Which as I said at the time, I'm like, why would you do this? Number one, like, you're a bunch of xenophobe, whatever. Why? I don't know why you did this. Number two, France weren't even in the Copa America. Like, you didn't even play them. Like, they weren't even in the tournament. So, like, what are you mocking them for? Well, you set it up, and what happened? Argentina, the first game in France at the Olympics, people stormed the field and threw bottles at them and firecrackers at them. And now you put all these pressure on the Argentinians. France played Argentina in the rugby sevens, and France were like super charged up and motivated to beat them, and they did. Well, guess who's playing in soccer tomorrow? France and Argentina. You can't make this up, but of course, here we go. And this is like an all-in. Like France wants to win the gold medal, but it's like Auburn, Alabama stuff, Michigan, Ohio State. The gold medal is secondary after. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, whatever. The medal, yeah, we'll worry about that after. But we can't lose to Argentina. Like, France cannot lose to Argentina tomorrow. They mocked you in the worst possible way. And I thought it was classless Bush League stuff from Argentina. People are smashing France in this game. All right, like the numbers dropping right now. Like, soccer, people are plus money. France were like plus 130, plus 120, plus 115, plus 110. They're plus 100 right now. Other people are thinking the same thing. This is like an all-in game. Argentina are good, though. They've had a little bit of struggles here in Paris. Obviously, they don't have all their players, but they're still a pretty loaded team here. But so are France, and like I said, this is like a national pride, cannot lose the game for France tomorrow. Level 3 continues. This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency, the Pitch, the Parcel Hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. I'm just looking at the Olympic updates right now, but not the scoring updates, the sideshow updates. And we had a boob incident, actually. I'd like to show you the picture, but we can't for obvious purposes. Here's the headline here. Jennifer Aniston lookalike flashes her boobs. I'm not sure this is a lookalike. I think it is Jennifer. Like they're bang on as far as Jennifer Aniston. If you like Jennifer Aniston, there's a Jennifer Aniston dead ringer that exposed herself at the tennis match. it's not the Edmonton Oilers hockey game. Like the Edmonton Oilers, I get. Like Roland Garros at the Olympics. It is 2024. It is 2024. So we talked about like that. A crazy story to me about the Chinese table tennis player that the media. He won a gold medal in the mixed doubles. The media took a bunch of pictures of him, but crushed his trusted paddle, and he subsequently went on in his own individual event to lose in the first round to the 26th ranked player in the world, and he's the number 1 ranked player in the world, and he'd never lost to this player before. And you don't want to blame, what do they say, a good worker doesn't blame his tools. A good tradesman doesn't blame the tools. But there's exceptions to it where it's like, yeah, this guy's playing with like a paddle from like Walmart for $6.99 or something like that. The boxing controversy is a big story. And it's such a big story that if you'll notice, it became the story of the day everywhere. Like, you know, we all wait for the NFL to get back. And then the NFL is finally back. And instead of talking about the NFL, everybody's talking about a boxer. And which the story isn't what it appears to be. And it's almost like that episode of Seinfeld when, like, you know, they said, should we even be talking about this? I'm not sure we should, you know what I mean? It's like one of those deals. You know, you see like, you know, boxers getting pummeled and you see the internet blowing up. This isn't right. And I don't know. It's one of these, it's a hard subject and topic when you actually like realize the actual chromosomes of it, the science of it and all this. And you know what? I'm not a scientist, right? I personally didn't care. I knew about the story coming in. I didn't care. She was in the last Olympics and no one cared, right? But, you know, when people were getting their faces bashed in, I'm like, all right, what's this story about here? And I sort of misinterpreted some of a failed test, which wasn't really like it wasn't a steroid failed test. But anyways, if you're interested in the story for real, I would say actually like do some research on it for real, instead of sort of getting caught up in the mob, right? Which we all do at times. You know what I mean? Everybody's guilty of it at times with different things. But instead of getting caught up in the mob and stuff, like, let me put it this way. It's not a dude pretending to be a woman trying to beat woman up to win a medal. Like that's not what's going on here. And I think, you know, a lot of people misinterpret. Even me, I was like, wow, I don't know, like, is she taking something? And is this the advantage? But no, like, you know, once again, it's like a 1 in a million thing. And if you remember, like literally, I'm not just saying 1 in a million. Literally, she's like a 1 in a million, like, person on earth type thing. And if you remember, there was a South African runner that was very similar. Like, it's like a 1 in a million. It's sort of like, it's crossed, man. It's like, you know, crossed DNA and genes and chromosomes and stuff like that. Right. So, you know, I actually almost feel bad for her, to be honest, like to get all this backlash. But, you know, there's a lot of problems in this world. I can't solve them all. So I'll stay in my lane instead, my swimming lane. So speaking of which, Summer McIntosh coming up here soon. And as I stated, man, this swimming stuff has been lit. I'm going to miss it, but the swimming is going to transition right into the track and field. The hammer throw, we got to get our bets in here soon for the hammer throw if you want to get in on the men's hammer throw. Katzberg, the Canadian, minus 250 favorite. Good parlay material. We'll get into the basketball on the other side, too. We got some basketball. All the basketball. We'll get all the point spreads, my takes on these games as well. Man, there's a lot of events coming up here. I'm just trying to process all of this. All right, let's get back to the swimming, though, because this is coming up as well. The swimming is at like 5 in the morning. And as a bettor right now, I'm learning some harsh lessons. I'll tell you what. They don't like, you know, like if you bet on the 3-on-3 basketball, there's in-game for it. You know what I mean? Oh, I missed tip-off. It's 1-0. Like type. Right. Man, swimming, this is like military time. Like the sports book, when it becomes 2 o'clock in the morning, they pull it at 2. Like, I missed one today by a second. I was like, oh my God, it's 58. And I was trying to get it in before like the clock hit 0. And I knew, I was like, man, they're going to pull this. They're going to pull it. And I had to, like, whatever. I didn't get it in on time. And I was like, son of a bitch, man, they pull this fast. So they're going to pull it at 2 in the morning, West Coast, 5 in the morning. For those of you on the East Coast, if you want to get in on Summer McIntosh's last individual swimming event. I think she's got another. I think she's got one more. No, that's it. I guess there's no more team event. This is going to be it for her. So she can go all in here. Kaylee McEwen is the favorite at plus 175. Summer McIntosh plus 187. Kate Douglas plus 200. From what I understand, like I said, I don't pretend to be the biggest swimming expert, but I've been doing pretty good with it, actually. Not just with McIntosh, but just by listening and researching and sort of soaking it in, is they both sort of have their faults, right? Like the Kaylee McEwen likes to get out really fast and stuff, but she can't keep the pace up. And this is a medley of the different events. And we've already seen Summer win 2 of them. Like, basically, Summer, I believe, is better overall combined. She might not be better than Kaylee at every discipline, but when you combine them all, the 4 of them, I think it's too much. And I think Summer McIntosh is going to win. Are we going to call it the bailout special? No, not really, but it's a bailout special. The only thing is, it's not the race tonight. You got to get the action in tonight because she's got to qualify for it first. The qualifying starts tonight. I said earlier in the day on Twitter X about I was watching some fencing, and you figure that fencing would be like a pretty straightforward sport that you would get, that you wouldn't need to be explained. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't understand new sports. They're short-minded or they're dumb or they don't care enough, like, or whatever. Like, like to soak it in. Oh, what are the rules? And, it doesn't, you learn the rules. So you figure fencing's pretty freaking simple. It's like, all right, you got this, two people, it's just sort of very basic sword fighting, basically. Dude, it's the most confusing thing ever. Number one, they have like 4 different like styles of it, epi and foil and I don't know, whatever. Dude, there's all this different stuff for it. And I'm watching it. I can't effing tell. I had, listen, I got money on USA gold medals. So USA were in a gold medal match in fencing, and it was like a surprise. They weren't supposed to be, so it was like a bonus win medal. So I was like, all right, let's get it. So I watched it. Number one, it went on for like an hour and a half. But it was entertaining. It was entertaining. Like it was like team stuff. It was two team, not 4, but 2. 2 girls, and they switched like the medium and the style. It was super entertaining and cool. But I swear to God, everything goes to replay. They both, and Julio steps up and in. Julio's there, good to see you. And Julio, they go so fast, bro, in the fencing, both of them. They go so fast. The little saber, it's not like a sword. So it's sort of, it's hard to see fully. And they both always strike each other at the same time. I don't know whoever got the point until they celebrate after Julio. All the time. I believe we had Julio. We'll see if we line him up here. I think he's having some problems. So like, people watch, I don't understand this rugby 7 stuff, or I don't understand this sport. I got to be honest with you too. The judo was a little confusing. They both grab each other. They're rolling around. I couldn't tell. I had a bunch of money on it, and I was sort of just stressed watching. And I was like, I think this is good. I can't really tell. And okay, all right, we got a point. All right. So some of these sports aren't so easy to pick up, and fencing is one of them. So let me load up the schedule. It's the best way to do it. We go sort of event by event, and I see what's coming up here as far as the events per sport. But I was talking about the men's basketball. We got a problem with Julio. We'll see what happens here in a couple of them. I just expect the worst all the time now. It's been one of these days, one of these weeks. So Japan and Brazil are up first. Dude, one of my bigger bets is I have a $500. I put $500 on this bet, which in hindsight wasn't such a smart idea. But at the time, it's like a teaser. Every teaser looks great, right? How can this lose? If you remember, I spent a lot of time talking about it, too. It was about the leading scorer on each team. Leading scorer on each basketball team. Hachimura, SGA, and Wembanyama. So it's looking good. So Japan, even though Hachimura got kicked out of the game, he's still projected to be their leading scorer. Wembanyama is going to be the leading scorer for France. But I'm a little bit worried about the Canada one. Anyone that's watching Canada looked really good. And one of the reasons why they look really good is because SGA is like passing the ball a lot and stuff. RJ Barrett is the one that keeps on leading Canada in points. We'll get you the player props. But I've been told once again Julio's good. This is like Babano last night. Are we sure? Julio, are you with us?
Can you hear me, Gabe? Hello.
Yeah, we've got you now, Julio. You sound very clear now, but we had a lot of problems evidently tonight getting you on.
Yeah, it's like that Limp Bizkit song. It's one of those days. We just take a deep breath. And you were mentioning judo. There was a match with a Frenchman. I think he was involved in one of the medal rounds. It was an exciting atmosphere. I had no idea what was going on. You're absolutely right.
You admit it. At least we admit it, huh? The judo, they grab each other and they're just sort of shoving and going around. And and then after, it's like, I don't know, who got the point? You know what I mean? Or they're like, oh, that's a foul. I'm like, I don't know. I can't tell what a foul is. How the hell do I know? Like, but the fencing, same thing, Julio. It's just this rapid fire, boom. And then somebody, hey, I got it. Like, and then they always argue it. Like, I swear to God, I was watching a men's fencing. Every play was reviewed after almost. And it was pretty cool, actually. The judge is there, and he has a laptop. Nothing fancy. Got like a laptop, and he looks, and he decides right away. But it was like almost every point, bro, went to review because they're so good and they're so fast, Julio. They both like strike each other with the fence at the same time.
Yeah, that's one of those sports. You have no idea what's going on. It's
No, you
cool to
watch, like you said, because it looks cool. It looks cool aesthetically. You have fun watching it. You got some money on it. But, yeah, at least now we'll understand, Julio. High jump over the bar. You know what I mean? Like now I'll understand, I'll understand the concepts more. But so we got men's basketball coming up. Japan and Brazil. Both these teams are in trouble. So you got Brazil laying 4.5 points against Japan. Totals 165.5 in this game. I think there could be some points in this game, actually. I would expect there to be a little bit of pace. Japan can score, as we saw against the United States, right? So, Japan with who do they play? Japan in the pre-warm-up games. And their Yamamoto guy, bet on his prop, he can shoot this kid. So they've got Hachimura, you've got Watanabe. They've got some players, Japan. I'm not really comfortable laying 4.5 points with Brazil here, Julio. I'm not saying that Japan are the lock of the night or anything, but I don't trust Brazil to lay 4.5. I think this is like a close game that comes down to the wire. But I do like the over 165.5 as well. That's my pick for this game. That game is the first one up at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern.
I've already got the coffee ground, some ground coffee ready to go for some overnight Olympic action. I agree with you. I like the over. Ooh, gun to my head, I'd have to take Japan in the points, but I think the over's the way to go. I think we'll get a bunch of fouls late, free throws gets us to the finish line.
Australia and Greece, and there are you got the third place qualifying as well. So like point differential, like they got to get some teams in. A lot of teams have lost. So everybody is playing for something still tonight. Australia and Greece. Greece just can't buy a break, Julio, if you watch them play. They try hard. They pop a couple of threes every now and then. Giannis is like giving his best, and the guy's scoring 34, and he's running through a wall. You see he's diving for loose balls and stuff for them. They just don't have enough talent. Like Australia, Australia are one of those tier 2 teams, but Australia have a bunch of NBA players, right? You got Giddey on the floor. You got Mills on the floor. You got Landale on the floor. You've got guys, Dante Exum. Australia are good. I mean, they're a good team. They hung with Canada. They're just a step below, I think. The Canada's the elite teams and not the U.S., but I think they're too much for Greece personally here, Julio. I'm done believing in Greece. I thought Greece could hang with Spain, bro. They couldn't. I'm done betting on Greece. I'm taking the Aussies tonight, who need the win coming off the loss, too.
Yeah, it's that beautiful Cinderella story with Greece, right? You want them to do well in this tournament with Giannis, but they just don't have enough scoring. A team like this, you need 3-4 guys to shoot in double figures. So give me Aussie, Australia, and the points.
Yeah, Australia are 5.5 point favorites in this game. Spain beat Greece. Australia beat Spain earlier by 12. They lost, to Canada by 9? Was it 9 or 10, whatever? I think it'll sort of be the same thing. You know what I mean? They won't smoke Greece, but over time, the Greek players just can't keep up with these NBA guys for a course of a 40-minute basketball game. That game's at 7:30 Eastern time in the morning, 4:30 Pacific. Canada and Spain will hit this on the other side. They're playing for first place in their group. Canada are 9.5 point favorites. or I believe it's 6:44 in the morning. What time is it in Paris right now? That's my guesstimation right now. See if my mathematics and my very tired and fried brain works. But we're 3 hours behind, 6 hours. So I think it's like 6:40. Is it 6:44 a.m.? It is. Boom.
Yep.
See, I'm gonna bang on. So yeah, we're getting ready to start here. Like, you know what I mean? It's so you got to always remember what time is it there. They don't really have events this early. So we're still about an hour away from these events starting. And this is the rotation tonight, Julio. But I'm not going to lie to you. Normally I could just fire away, and I'm like a fat cat, like Friar Tut. And I'm like, oh, I bet on this, and I bet on that, and I bet on this. I'm big card Morency, big unit Morency. I got punched in the mouth tonight in the CFL. And, bro, like 25-0, the BC Lions lost. Never in a million years would I expect the BC Lions to lose 25-0. And just a total write-off of the game, painful, hurt the account, a couple other, just whatever. I got a lot of money tied up in other events. So we're gonna get it. We got to get these units right tonight. We got to get back on track. Let's get back on the horse and rock. First sport up tonight, Julio. A sport that I haven't bet on, but I did look into the numbers here, dude. They're all such massive favorites. There's not a hell of a lot we can do. Badminton. Like, I'm talking like minus 6,600 and stuff like that. So unless you want to call some upsets with some Asian dudes you'd never heard of before. Badminton starts in 2 hours. Golf starts, of course, coming up in 2 hours. Men's volleyball. Argentina, Germany. That's interesting. Beach volleyball, mixed prelims coming up in 2 hours. We're back at it. 3-on-3 basketball. Women's shooting, rowing, finals, archery. I got a lot of money on the archery, but this is a mixed team. I don't have that. Athletics, track and field starts in 3 hours. The hammer throw and all that stuff we're talking about. You got to get in on that stuff if you want to. Take Katzberg to win. Judo elimination matches tonight. Table tennis, men's basketball, synchronized diving, men's diving. And the one that I'm looking forward to, besides the basketball, so I got money on the golf. I'm not going to force any bets on the badminton or anything like that, or the table tennis. But I am betting the swimming tonight. Another round with Summer McIntosh, Julio, plus 187. How can we not take this girl? She's on fire. Let's get one more gold medal for Summer McIntosh. That's at 2 p.m., 2 a.m. our time, West Coast, Julio.
I like it, Gabe. So many sports, it's like a buffet. You gotta have your eyes set on a certain dish. Don't overfill your plate. I'm gonna go with some soccer, men's soccer,
it's too late
USA.
For that.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, good call. I didn't even get to the men's soccer. I talked about the Argentina-France game already a bit, but what do you like in the soccer tomorrow?
USA against Morocco. I was going to take both teams to score, but little too chalky, so I'll do over 2.5 goals, minus 112. And don't be surprised if we get over 10 minutes of stoppage time. So I want to look for the prop of a goal past the 70th minute. I'm kind of sarcastic that one of these days we'll get like 20 minutes of stoppage time. We're almost there, Gabe. I think one of the last matches had 16 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, no, we are getting there. They did. So they're going to add a ton. I tell you what, I'm not fully surprised about some of these. Some people are surprised. You can't discount Morocco, bro. They're a dangerous team.
No, they're a good side. I got the prop. I've got the prop. It's a late goal. The prop is goal after 73 minutes and 59 seconds. That's another prop I'll play. It's minus 120, unfortunately, so shop around for the best price. A goal after the 73:59 mark. And I'm playing this solely based on stoppage time.
Yeah, the Julio's raising. So with stoppage time, you're getting an extra 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes added on. Suddenly you're getting a 25-minute window to get a goal. And there's late goals in soccer games all the time. Soccer lines in the morning. Morocco plus 125. USA plus 220. Draw plus 230. Japan plus 290. Draw plus 240. Spain minus 106. Egypt, another dangerous team. Egypt plus 210. Draw plus 230. Paraguay plus 130. France Olympique versus Argentina. France were plus 100 about 20 minutes ago. Now plus 120. I brought up, Julio, all about the trash talk, the racial stuff, the dude on Chelsea and Argentina. They hate them in France. Like, you know what I mean? Argentina are pariahs. We've seen how they've been treated through the tournament here. Now we're playing France in a knockout game. Like, this is one of these games where if the French players don't win the game, they're gonna have to be like Joel Embiid and all move to America. Like, give up your French passport and move to Philadelphia with Embiid. Like, if you're on France and you don't beat Argentina tomorrow.
One of the props I really love, Julian Alvarez, anytime goal scorer plus 275. It'd be a fitting story. One of the biggest villain of this drama with a big goal in the Olympics. Although I have a future on France to win. It's a difficult knockout stage game, even if it's the under 23s game.
So let's see what are the odds to advance, to qualify. France to qualify, minus 163. Argentina plus 120 to qualify. I think France will qualify. This Argentina team's good, but they've had some struggles. France haven't been perfect. One thing I'll say about this game too, France and Argentina, I don't think there'll be a lot of goals. Like, this is going to be a defensive battle. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1-0 game, actually. It's minus 143, under 2.5 in this game. All right, so there's some men's soccer. What else do you got for us, Julio?
Oh, man, Gabe. You want to talk about embarrassment? USA 3-on-3 basketball have been an embarrassment. Give me France.
I warned you.
Women, plus 130. I haven't bet them, but it's just embarrassing to watch, Gabe. They really have been atrocious. So we'll go 3-on-3 with we're fading USA. We're going to go with France. And then Sydney McLaughlin, the women's 400 hurdles.
We'll hit this and more on the other side. All right, so Julio dropping some 400-meter women's hurdles. I like this. Sydney McLaughlin. She's a minus 450 favorite, but parlay material if you like it, Julio.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
as you stated, she's in dominant form right now. She's minus 450 for a reason. And similar to Simone Biles, who her boyfriend plays on the Green Bay Packers, who she's married to a football player, and she's married to
a receiver for the Ravens. His name escapes me, but she's the star of the show. Sydney McLaughlin.
How about this?
She set the world record in Eugene. She's on fire right now.
She's from I was going to say, she's from New Brunswick. Rutgers, baby. She's from Rutgers territory. New Brunswick, New Jersey. And she's married to Andre LeBron Jr. Andre LeBron Jr. So not totally as well known as the Owens dude. All right, so minus 450 there. All right, Julio, so before we get you out of here, for the record, that goes off the board on Saturday night, overnight Saturday night. You want to get this McLaughlin bet in. What else do you got for us, Julio? We got about 2 minutes.
Germany women in field hockey. They're taking on China, 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, minus 163. German women in ladies field hockey. And let's take a look at the I tell you one thing, I'm going to keep fading the women's USA basketball. I've been unimpressed with them in the first two games. They didn't cover today. I think that's it for me right now, Gabe. As I look at the board, there's a lot going on, but I really love over 2.5 goals again in that USA Morocco men's game. And I like the under in the women's game.
Oh boy, we got my nemesis, Julio. I'm looking here right now. Water polo. I'm almost addicted to it now. Like, I'm missing other events. Yeah, I know. I'm caught up, and I watch the whole games and stuff, and I get caught up, and I'm like, that's a bad call. I'm getting mad. And I got a little, when you're betting on a sport, Julio, you know what I mean? Like, where you bet on these, you're betting on stuff for a new league, and you're killing it, and you start to get cute. You think you know it all. You know what I'm saying? I was literally on like an 8-1 water polo, 9-1 water polo run, men and women. And I was like, man, I'm really in a groove here. And, bro, I just hit the deep end of the pool this morning. It was just one of those deals. I went 0-4, 4-game session. I lost all 4 of them. And you know why? I started betting on favorites, Julio. I'm always taking the goals. And suddenly I was like, oh, you know what? Croatia will win by 4.5. No, they won by 4. All right, I was like, oh, I'll lay 3.5 for France. They won by 3. And after, I was like, dude, man, you won before by taking the dogs, and you got all cute thinking you know these teams now. Just stick with the dogs. And now we got Canada and Australia water polo. Canada got it done for me against China the other night, and Australia aren't as good as you think they'd be. Like, you figure everything in water they're great at, but they're not awesome at women's water polo. So I'll say Canada plus the 3.5. Greece and Italy. This is a really good water polo game. How about this, Julio? The U.S. women are getting laying 9.5 points against the French women in the pool. As someone that watches a lot of water polo, it's not easy, Julio, to beat someone by 10-10. I don't see many 10-goal blowouts in water polo, bro.
I don't see that either. So what, you thinking under 21.5 goals? That's going to be tough. Like you're saying, there aren't many blowouts like that in men or women water polo.
No, I've been pretty good at like drilling scores actually with this. So I'm thinking here in USA, I think they got the total sort of right. I'm thinking, Julio, USA win like 14-6, 14-7 type thing.
That'd be
15,
a nice
15-6, 15-8. I think they win by 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7. Like I said, I haven't seen, man. I've watched a lot of these games, man. Hell, Romania were getting smoked by people, like by 6 and 7. And today they lost by 4 only. Like I said, water polo seems to be kind of an underdog sport. Plus, it is the host nation getting 9.5 goals, bro.
Yeah, that's a great point. Here's another one. China-Hungary, 6.5 for the Lady Hungarians. Was unimpressed with the way China gave up the lead against the Netherlands. They ended up losing by 4 or 5 goals. So that's another one. Hungarian women, minus 6.5.
Yeah, you know what, though? It's a lot of goals. Like I said, I saw Hungary beat Canada by 5. But, yeah, water polo has been a lot of fun. Great job, Julio. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Friday Night Freak Show. More Olympic talk, a lot of football talk tomorrow. Hopefully we can redeem ourselves at the CFL after tonight's train wreck. Follow me on Twitter. I'll have a bunch of pics other night. You're on your own later.